Hospital, September 3rd, 2025. First things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? Okay, y'all. I said, look, everybody suspect. Look, I had added Tracy onto the list, but she showed up. She showed up, y'all. She was the one that found Drew. Spoiler alert. But okay, I'm gonna give y'all a quick summary and then we're gonna dive into the review. Okay, so first of all, Portia went back for more. She was laid up in bed with Isaiah. I said, Curtis, look what time of night it is. I'm assuming, yeah, it was nighttime, wasn't it? I said, your wife ain't came home. You ain't got suspicious or nothing. What the world going on now? What the world going on? When they showed it at first, they showed her. They showed Isaiah laying right there. I said, they better not. I said, better not be no Portia. Portia standing over there or whatever in her t-shirt and everything. I said, maybe she was dreaming. She was not dreaming. She was not dreaming. She acting like she ain't married. She acting like she ain't married. What the world going on? I was like, I was waiting on Curtis to be on this episode or something. They didn't show him though, y'all. Cause I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Portia saying how she usually notices when Curtis doesn't come home or vice versa or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I was like, wait a minute now. I wasn't expecting to see this. I thought this was going to be a one-time thing or something. But no, she over here laid up with this man still. I was like, Tracy, no, let him leave. Yeah. I said he's still kicking, y'all. He got a pulse. Then Trina and Kai first, I was like, Kai put his fingerprints on the doggone bed, but Trina touched the little blanket thing. I said, they DNA and the evidence all over the doggone house. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he did take his shirt and like open the door a little bit so they could get in or whatever. But yeah, I was like, look, I don't know who did it, y'all. People saying they think it was Stella based on the hair and the shadow. I looked at it, but I can't tell, y'all. Willow acted very suspicious. she shocked and stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't know. I really can't say who did it, y'all, at this point. Maybe they'll give us a hint down the line. But yeah, I said this man's still kicking, y'all. Hold on. But okay, let's see. That's what we giving y'all a quick summary. Portia went back for more. Her and Isaiah were in bed together. Brennan gave Carla an alibi because he got word that Drew had been shot. Tracy found Drew. Trina and Kai both left their fingerprints everywhere. Vaughn knows that there is a mole. Portia may do something else stupid. The way she was looking in that elevator, I said she about to do something stupid, y'all. Wiley was worried that the judge would say that Michael can't see him like the judge said Will couldn't. Chase thinks that Drew was the one that had the judge murdered. I'm assuming now that he done been shot, they're gonna think that everything's connected. Kai found evidence. He gave it to Trina. Britt gives Josh some scissors. She tried to call Jason. I said, when she left that door open, she left the door open. I said, I know where this finna go. I know where this finna head to. And in he walked to me, so he don't care what he says or whatever. This time you gone too far. So I was like, okay, whoever it is, they don't know that he run around grabbing folks and stuff. Like, what's going on now? I was like, I thought Britt would have ran the first thing and grabbed that phone. But no, she ran grabbed some scissors. I was like, where she find the little bit of those scissors from? When Willow fainted, I died laughing. I'm like, girl, man, what? But she did. I was like, wait a minute, did she faint before? Oh, she was in the courthouse, wasn't she? She said, let me try this again. She was like, I said, now why she fainting? Especially if she the one who did it. I was like, girl, please. I said, come on now, Willow. You may not have had anything to do with it. Then on the preview, I just watched it, y'all. She gonna be talking to Nina. She's gonna be like, how did you know that Drew was shot or whatever? And I was like, what if she try to frame her? I'm like, look, I'm thinking Willow did it. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. I really don't know at this point. Nina had been threatening him, but so has everybody else. Look like Alexa's gonna be questioned on tomorrow's episode, and she gonna be telling Dante to leave her house. So I was like, look, everybody gonna have to get hauled in. He done made so many enemies. Look, you really can't tell. But I will say though, Kai and Trina don't put their fingerprints there. They don't put the fingerprints. I was like, what they gonna say? Because once they run the little scan thing and see the back, they gonna see his fingerprints. But she also touched the blanket when she was trying to help, but he told her no. They ended up leaving and everything. But okay, let's start from the top. Josh and Vaughn was still captured, y'all. They're just sitting there. I said, they ain't broke out yet, huh? What type of agents is they? Don't they supposed to be trained for this type of thing? But yeah, they were just sitting there or whatever. I think they ended up grabbing Josh and trying to get information out of Vaughn, and he told them everything that he know or whatever. Vaughn ends up realizing that they have a mole, and I was like, Corlette, and Brennan still ain't realized what's going on. Then my thing though with Brennan, you haven't heard anything. Corlette said it's been what, 2 days, and you haven't heard nothing, and you don't think you need to pull them out of there or send some people in or something like that. Then she gonna offer to go. I said, you trying to finish them off. That's what you trying to do, girl. I said they wouldn't even been caught if you hadn't snitched. So why is she trying to go over there? Why is she trying to go over there? That's what I want to know. But yeah, what else? Let's see. They showed Jason. He was at the airport. He was calling Danny saying that he's gonna be on his way back, but his flight got delayed. So I'm watching. I'm like, come on now, Britt, go call her. Son, she tried, but the service was bad. He did end up picking up, but it kept breaking up. She was like, "You need to come back now," or whatever. And that's when that dude Pascal grabbed her on. Talking this time she went too far. I knew he was itching to get her. He was itching to get her. She kept on throwing her weight around, and how the dude, whoever he is, wasn't gonna be happy if he did this and that. I was like, "Yeah," because he think he in charge. It's always one of them that think they in charge. Hold on. It's always one of them that think they in charge. What else? I just said Jason was thinking about Britt or whatever. I said, look at his spruns here. He ain't hit. Nah, I said, I said, it's been a long time, ain't it, Jason? Well, yeah, Corlette came in. Brittany was just sitting there checking his phone. She was like, no word yet or whatever. So she was like, okay, she thinks the mission is over. She was like, so you don't think that you need to call and see what's going on or, pull them back and cancel the mission? He's still talking about, so he'll know when it's time and all that. You ain't here in 48 hours? He's like, no, I can't lose Carly. I cannot lose Carly. But yeah, and he basically told her, stay out of my way. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And basically, he see that she desperate. She talking about some send me over there. I was like, for what? You already don't snitch. What you trying to go over there for? But yeah, Lucas was looking for Willow, and Elizabeth was like, she think that she left. She came in. She was soaking wet. Michael wet. I said, we don't know who did it, y'all. We really don't know who did it. She came in and everything. She had to go change her clothes. I was like, do Michael got an alibi? Carly do, because Brenda gave her alibi. But yeah, I said, don't be trying to score no points with her. Tell her about her daughter. Because then she came to him and told him, about Drew, and she was wrong about him. So, was she wrong about Brendan as well? He still ain't be honest. He still ain't be honest. They be having every opportunity to be truthful or whatever, and they never do. What else? Let me see. Let me see. Chase was talking to Anna saying that he thinks that Drew has the judge murdered because, he found out that the judge was gonna give her an opportunity and stuff like that, basically ruining his plans. And I was like, no, it wasn't him. We don't know who it was actually. We assuming that it was Sitwell. Well, yeah, I take that back. We do know who it was. What I'm talking about? It was Sitwell. I don't know what I was talking about. We do know who it was. It was Sitwell who choked that lady out. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Drew got shot twice. Kai got a bad. He's talking about he finna go out there, and Sheena wanted to come. He was like, no, you don't know if they gone. You don't know if they still shooting or whatever. So she was like, forget that. I'm coming out there too. This fool don't. She don't touch the blanket, and he got the bed and left the doggone bed right there. And they see that it wasn't broke into. So wait, they can mean anything though. Wouldn't that mean it's Willow too? I know Kai. I think Kai had a key. But in order for them to get in, didn't they lock the door back? I don't know if they locked the door back. So I'm assuming it was Willow, wasn't it? They saying it wasn't no forced entry. But yeah, they did say it wasn't no forced entry, so it's looking like Willow, y'all. We'll see though. What else? Kai went out there with a bat. I said, now what is a bat to a doggone GUN? What the word going on? But yeah, he said they can't be there or whatever because Trina was trying to help. Didn't she touch Drew? Didn't she touch Drew too? If I'm not mistaken, she checked to see if he had a pulse, and he did have a pulse. I say he's still kicking, y'all. I say he's still kicking. So then she was trying to help. She wanted to call for help, and he was like, no, we can't be there or whatever because, they broke in. They broke in or whatever. So they end up leaving. First she left. I was like, okay, is he going to stay there? Like, was he still there when the police got there? But no, they left. They left together, look like. But yeah, I said, y'all already don't touch Drew, the blanket, the bed. Then somebody said nobody can know or whatever. Then you got the dog. I said, now where he found it at? Then they said he's found it in the room with the safe or something like that. But yeah, he found the evidence and he gave it to her, and it looked like Portia from the get ready to do something else stupid. She just standing in the elevator. I said, don't let her work. I said, that's how we got in this situation to begin with. She over here changing test results and stuff. Now she over here, when they told that Drew had been shot, she just standing up there looked like she wanted to smile. But at the same time, it looked like Willow kind of was, like, I don't want to say she was smiling, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. But yeah, let me see what else. Let's see. I already said Corlette wanted to go. Carly ends up telling Brendan that she made a big mistake with Drew. I thought she about to say she threatened him and stuff like that. No, she was just talking about how she trusted him and thought he was this person, but he was a completely different person and stuff like that. She's afraid that she was wrong about Brendan. Vaughn ends up telling Jocelyn that there's a mole. I'm assuming they're gonna put two and two together and realize that it's Corlette. Britt came back, y'all. She came back. She went in and she was like, it's only so much she could do. It's hard to get out of there or whatever. So she gave her them little scissors that you use when you're doing the little manicure and everything. What else? Tracy came to the house. She ends up finding Drew or whatever, and she called for help. She ended up calling for help. She wanted to ride in the ambulance with him and everything. And I said, Drew, I said, not Drew. I said, now Tracy done got too soft now. Now you don't got too soft, girl, but I understand. I definitely understand, girl. But yeah, Anna ended up questioning her about why she was there. She said something about she found out about, everybody getting served and something else. Oh, Stella. And she wanted to talk to him about that and try to get him to back off or whatever. And that's when she found him. Then they questioned her about the bat or whatever. She said she did have to step over it and everything. I said, Now, how are they going to explain why they was in the house? And if are they even going to find evidence upon their blanket? Because she did touch the blanket. She did. Let me see what else. Let's see. Chase ends up telling Willow that Drew was shot, and that's when she fainted, allegedly. I don't know what that was. She's like, she's fainted, and I was like, then she said, she like, what do I do? What do I do? She said, I know, I'm a faint. No, I don't know, y'all. Maybe she was in shock. But yeah, she did end up showing back up, and she was questioning about what's going on with him. Lucas was like, he's doing everything he can to save him. But when he was talking to Portia, he was saying something about the bullet got near his spine. So he's trying to make sure that, he saved him from being paralyzed. Lord have mercy. That's trying to help him so that he won't be paralyzed. But yeah, Britt ended up getting caught twice. I said Britt. First she got caught coming out the doggone room, and she did that smooth though, but not smooth enough because he still followed her. And she left the door open. She would have had more of a chance if the door was locked, but at the same time, the phone kept breaking up. She couldn't get no service or whatever. And I was like, now how they been making? She ain't been making calls and stuff. Well, she ain't got nobody to call because they all think she did. But I was like, when she tried to call and the service wouldn't work, I was like, now what the world going on there? That they got to interfere with the service and stuff. But yeah, she got caught twice. The first time, she was coming out of the room, and then she smoothed it over a little bit. She was like, you better fix this and stuff before he get back and just all this other stuff. And she left. She hurried up and grabbed that phone and tried to call Jason. He answered her, but, like I said, it was breaking up and stuff. It was breaking up and everything. What else? Let's see. Hold on. It was breaking up or whatever, and that's when he grabbed her and said she went too far. I said, well, you held hostage now. He got you now, girl. But with Josh and Vaughn, they managed to get out. The little security guard dude came in there or whatever. That's when Josh was standing up there and she waved at him. That's when Vaughn had knocked him down or whatever. I said, how many more guards they got to take down? I don't know. I know it was the dude that was giving Britt massages. Then it's the little men they got on those little suits that they be wearing when they crazy. Not when they crazy, but when they be like, I don't want to say the army, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Them soldier people. But yeah, I was like, it's probably a whole bunch of them. I said, Jason better come back. He better come back. Let's see what else. Wiley was talking to Michael because, he woke up and Michael wasn't there. So I was like, he going to need an alibi as well because they're going to question him for sure. He at the top of the list as well because he was interfering with his custody case and stuff. Wiley's worried that the judge won't let Michael see him either because, the judge won't let Willow see it. And Brooklyn ended up trying to talk to Michael, asked if it's a good idea to not let Willow see the kids and stuff like that. And she mentioned how Drew and Willow aren't together anymore. And that's when he told her. Whatever. But I don't think he knew. No, he didn't know. He doesn't know yet that Drew had got shot. But it looked like Tracy's going to be telling him on tomorrow's episode. Because she was saying how Monica can't find out. Did y'all hear that they plan on replacing Monica with the lady that used to play, what's her name, Vicky up on One Life to Live? That's what they saying, y'all. If it's true, how do y'all feel about that? I don't know. Because I liked her as an actress, but at the same time, I feel like when situations like that happen, you're supposed to honor people. You're supposed to honor people and put them to rest, especially since before all this happened, we barely had seen her to begin with. So I was like, I don't know, y'all. They could have brought her on as somebody else. But that's just my opinion, though. I think they should have paid tribute to her. But I don't know. That's just talk over social media. So we'll see. What else? Let's see. Anna ended up questioning Tracy. That's when she filled in about why she was there. Dante said whoever it was didn't break in. So I was like, okay, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kai had a key. But also, I'm assuming they locked the place back. So somebody else had to have a key too, right? I don't know, y'all. What else? Let's see. Kai found the evidence that Drew had on Portia. He gave it to Trina. That's when she ends up saying how no one can know that they there. I already said about Britt trying to call Jason. Um, Brandon ends up telling Carly about Drew because Anna called and told what was going on. And that's when he was like, "You was here with me the entire time." I said, "Well, Corlette can say that that's not true. She can say that that's not true. She about the only one that can say that's not true." Um, Portia said that she's scrubbing in. I was like, "Will she do something else stupid?" I said, "Will she do something else stupid that she ain't got no business doing?" Because she was just smiling and she was like, she made a little grin when she was in the elevator. And I said, "This fool finna do something else." I was like, "That's how we got in this situation to begin with." But yeah, I can't believe she was laid up with this man again. I said, she went back for more, y'all. What the world? What was the last thing? Let's see. I don't know. I think I said the last thing. But yeah, the last thing was Brick. Brick got caught or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I was like, I was like, Curtis, your wife is cheating. Now, how you think that solved anything? I don't understand. I really don't understand. I was like, Well, y'all, if y'all didn't see the last time they had slept together, y'all know for sure on this episode they had been sleeping together because she ain't got no business laid up with this man, and her husband is somewhere else, wherever he at. Where probably with Jordan. Probably with Jordan. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Hey, how you doing today? How y'all doing today? Y'all good? How y'all feeling? Y'all all right? Okay. What time is it? Let me see. It's 3:23. I'm about to go find something to eat now. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts. I done did something wrong. Let's see. Let me start clicking on stuff. They won't let me. I thought you could, but I guess not. Okay, I'm done. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time.